So our number one goal is to restore freedom, right? So on day one, any mandates are gone. Yep. Yep. On day one, CRT is over. Like the media and the left lectured us over the past years, follow the science. We're going to exactly do that and follow the science, right? So that means only biological females can play on biological female teams. I don't know how a biological male can join a girls' team, go from like 500, 467, on the men's team, go to the females' team, he's number one. Is that fair? Follow the science. We will. Yep. On day one, you can only use the bathroom that your biology anatomy says and not the one you...
It's a fiery... my ass is on fire right now from the excitement that Doug Mastriano was pushing in his victory speech. So, yeah, am I right? Sure. I mean, bathrooms, gay people. Why? This is the excitement that's surrounding the Republican Party when it comes to what they want to do. He is so detached from these issues that he doesn't believe that they're real. He doesn't believe that they're things that'll actually sway. He does believe that it'll sway his voting bloc, but not necessarily the American people. But that's not the point. The point is to push fear, push misinformation, talk about how they're coming for you. Hey, vote for me. Isn't this going to be great? And his number one to 10 things in office. It's just you can hear that from anyone. You hear it from a 10-year-old that's watched Fox News for one evening, but that's all it takes anymore. Anyways, Chris Wallace over there at CNN now, as you guys know, and the rest of that crew there did point out though that the Republican Party, as they saw this kind of forming together and Mastriano potentially having this victory, they were worried about this. Again, according to Chris Wallace and them, and also according to the way that they were trying to shake things up. Let's watch what they had to say at CNN.
If you're the Republicans in Pennsylvania, and not in that ballroom with Mastriano, you're pretty unhappy because this was a state in the midterms in this year, 2022, that you thought you had a real chance of taking. It's been the Democratic Governor Tom Wolf, for 2 terms now, and particularly you look ahead to 2024, nobody's going to win the presidency without winning Pennsylvania, and suddenly the odds are much better that the Democrat wins. The Democrat appoints the Secretary of State and presides over the election. So Republicans cannot be happy. If it were Lou Barletta, the former congressman, or Bill McSwain, the U.S. attorney, who incidentally Trump did an anti-endorsement of because he did not fight hard enough after the 2020 election, you got to be pretty unhappy. This is the last person you wanted to see get the nomination.
The last person you want to see get the nomination. Why would that be? Let's jump down to this back end of this first graph for you guys, because after that 10:30 Eastern victory, Mastriano led his rivals by more than 20 points. So it's a bit of a blowout there. It says a lot, but he'll also face a Democratic nominee, Josh Shapiro, the state attorney general who ran unopposed in November. That's what's gonna happen there. So it also, should Mastriano, who received former President Donald Trump's last minute backing Saturday, prevail in the general election, he would be able to appoint a Secretary of State to oversee the elections. He has pledged that his choice would, quote, reset the state's voter rolls so everyone would have to re-register. Now, in case you guys don't know, Doug Mastriano showed up on January 6th to help them with their potential and their attempted insurrection and takeover of the Capitol. He does believe that the 2020 election was stolen. You have to be if you're gonna get any kind of assistance from Donald Trump or be a Republican these days. So the point of bringing up appointing a Secretary of State and being in charge of a state like Pennsylvania, which is an influential one when it comes to presidential elections, this is the setup. This is the point of the whole reason for him being there. And the level of how radical he appears to be is the reasons why I think the Republican Party may not be so happy with him being there. So let's go more into who he is. So his winning campaign message wove together Christian nationalism, election denialism, and a rejection of COVID mitigation policies. A number of Republicans have expressed concern that he is too extreme to beat Shapiro in November, with some state Republican leaders working behind the scenes in the past week to consolidate a large field around another candidate in hope of uniting the non-Mastriano vote. Didn't work. He won. So he's a longtime Army colonel. He's made headlines for blocking reporters, including from NBC News, from covering his events. An NBC News reporter sought to attend a rally this month that was advertised online, only to be told by a campaign aide that, quote, "we already have adequate coverage and are taken care of." So at that event, a security guard demanded that the reporter leave, saying that the event was private. There's more events. More on the January 6th stuff and how he was involved there, because he does believe in this madness. So Ron Filipkowski tweeted this. 2 days before the Capitol riots, Mastriano said that he was heading to Washington and calling out to God for divine revelation. He used campaign funds to charter 6 buses to shuttle followers to DC and told them that he would speak on the Capitol steps. And around 1 o'clock, rioters broke into the Capitol, some wielding Bibles, Jesus 2020 signs, and appealed to heaven flags and shofars. On the Senate floor, one insurrectionist called out from the dais, "Jesus Christ, we invoke your name." And another thanked God for filling his chamber with patriots. These are the people he was hanging out with. This is Mastriano, the potentially next governor of Pennsylvania. This is the folks that they're propping up. These are the people that are here, but we just never really know what's gonna happen. Now, Republicans are concerned that he's a little bit too radical and actually lose. They're not concerned about his views, Adrian. They're concerned that he's too radical to win in the general election. It says a lot about their points of view.
Oh, absolutely. Like that shows you, we've seen this immense divide among the GOP lately. And the thing is, it's somewhat refreshing given that they kind of went from that kind of low-key, casual racism, sexism club to one that is fully outright and really ridiculous and intense, but also with the evangelical push and how incredibly dangerous that is in terms of where our nation is headed. And so to see some people at least try to pull back in some regard and to, maybe give signals to the fact that not everybody is fit for leadership is a good thing.
Well, but this is what we also saw with Donald Trump. He appears to be like the governor version of Trump. They didn't like him, tried to switch it up, like this can't work, he's gonna be too radical. And then if he gets in, it's, he's the greatest thing that's ever happened. He's exactly what we want for our party. That's what we have to be afraid of. When the party has no principles, they'll go to anyone else's principles, and a lot of times these false ones.